Mic check, mic check. Testing, testing. Are we good? We should be good. Yo, what's up, everybody? We good on YouTube? We good on Twitter? We good on Twitch? We should be good. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, drop a like or drop a retweet, drop a comment so we can make sure comments are working at Twitter, and then we'll get right into it. As always, we will recap yesterday first. 1-0 in the NFL, 0-2 unfortunately in the NBA. Jokic under 50.5, closed 47.5, but finished with 54 PRAs. And then Shea under 6.5 assists, finished with 7. So he lost by the hook. Small number there, so I digress. And then Kelsey cashed 40-plus receiving yards. Very easy, no sweat. Really happy with that read. 5-game NBA slate today. I think 4 of them should be kind of competitive. 1 of them may not be. First game we have is Philadelphia versus Washington. This game's at 7 p.m. Let me pull up the lines here. Philly's a 4.5-point favorite. Looks like Embiid's good to go. I do believe Philly's on – they on 2 days rest? No, okay, yeah. Philly's on a back-to-back. I was going to say. I thought they were on a back-to-back. I can't remember who they played last night. Quentin Grimes finished with the 14 there. And then Washington looks like they are coming off of a day's rest. Went through all of these lines earlier this morning. I tried to watch back some of the game film, see how these teams defend pick and rolls. Washington defended it very poorly last game. I think it was Charlotte. Yeah, that's right. LaMelo went off. LaMelo had a really good game. I think he was close, flirted with a triple-double. Took a lot of deep threes. The Washington defensive unit is really, really bad. I rewatched Philly's game, though, and how they defended pick and roll. CJ McCollum was absolutely chucking last game. 8 for 20 from the field, 4 for 11 from 3. Looked like he was inspired to get going early. So that'll be something to watch. I don't think Philly's pick and roll defense is necessarily good. So I think while CJ McCollum is like basically banned from me already, started the game with 2 terrible games. I do think matchup-wise it's not bad. Alexander Sarr, I mean, he's going to be going up against Embiid tonight. Embiid sounds like he's going to be able to go. He's only probably playing 20, 21, 22 minutes. It sounds like he wants to play more, but obviously the training staff with all the injuries he has had is being very cautious with him. I'm not mad at Alexander Sarr overs here. What are his minutes? 25, 25, 25. His minutes are very static there at 25. I lean over Alexander Sarr's points, but nothing official. Embiid, I can't attack anything with Embiid. I think it's a good matchup. He should be able to get some buckets, but he's only going to play 20 minutes. His line's about 20 points, so 18.5. Not enough value there for me. McCollum is like a big question mark for me. I think it's a good matchup. I think he should play well. Do I trust him to play well? That's a completely different conversation. Not really. It's a good matchup. If he's as aggressive as he was last game versus Charlotte, the volume is going to be there. What were his field goal attempts? 14 and 8 in the 2 prior. So was it a matchup thing? I guess tough matchup versus Dallas because he's undersized. Milwaukee, I don't feel like he had a very difficult matchup. So, will Quentin Grimes start on him today? Will Grimes even start since Embiid's in the lineup? What's Philly's starting lineup tonight? Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, Walker, Embiid. I don't mind that. I like Grimes a lot better off the bench anyways. Running the second unit, still getting about 30 minutes. Edgecombe could be a difficult matchup for CJ. Yeah, I'm all the way off on CJ, but he was hyper aggressive last game. I like Maxey overs. Washington's very bad at defending the pick and roll. I mean, they're just bad at everything. I spoke on this earlier. Defensive unit's awful. I don't like that Philly's off of back-to-back. But Maxey's played 41 minutes in each game. I think that continues. Maybe he drops to like 37, 38. As I said, very poor at defending the pick and roll. Three-point attempts were static. Field goal attempts were over 20 both games with Embiid. 32 last night, though. That's a lot of shots. That's a lot of wear on your body. He's still a pretty young guy. I lean over Maxey points for sure. Threes at 3.5. He's attempted 9, 9, and 11. I lean over Maxey points and threes. I do lean over Maxey points and threes. What's his first quarter points? Matter of fact, what are Embiid's first quarter points? Nine and a half. Nah, nothing for me there. We could maybe see a little bit of extension on his first quarter minutes tonight. Maybe he plays like 8. He's not going to be a 12-minute first quarter all season. I'm sure of that. So I don't know. Maybe a little bit of a lean to Embiid's first quarter if you were like pressed to play his points. Middleton, nothing points wise. Oubre is interesting to me. His field goal attempts have still been there. 6, 10, and 16. Now we've got Embiid back. I don't know where what is his average going to be 10 games into the season? I'm going to guess it's going to be around 12. Obviously, probably a few more in the games without Embiid. We saw 16 out of him last night. Embiid's back tonight. I think you'll see Philly do that a lot also. You can tell they're more interested in trying to win this game, I think, than the last. They bring Embiid in versus Charlotte and try to grab the easy win. Orlando is going to be difficult with or without him. I think we see that continue all season long with Philly. With Embiid, I probably would stay off the over, but I'm not mad at anything Oubre. I'm not mad at his threes at plus money, 6, 3, and 6 on the attempts. We've spoke about Washington, just a bad defensive unit in general, in every facet. So probably my favorite of all that I've looked at so far. It's not a difficult matchup for Kelly either. Yeah, I would lean over Kelly here. I just don't like it with the Embiid. With Embiid being back, he might lose a little bit of volume. Probably like his threes better than his points at plus money. Might be a sneaky 3 spot there. Can't go on. Oh, I want to talk about Keyshawn George as well for sure. I like all of his overs today. I know he had 6 points last game, 24 minutes. They lost by a boatload. I think they lost by like 26. I think we see his minutes creep back up. I'm not mad at a PRA over. 16% usage. So usage percentage definitely dropped. But as I said, CJ McCollum was just spraying last game. Not even like in a good way. He was just shooting every time he touched the ball. Not mad at a 3.5 minus that's prize pick. Like that minus 145 as a parlay piece, I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at an over 4.5 on the straight line. Definitely like Keyshawn George's. I think a double-double could be sneaky in this matchup too. Plus 470 at DK. Like that's a sneaky spot, I think. Leave it as a lean for now. Biggest transgressions are CJ McCollum last in. Yo, John, appreciate you tapping in. Nothing official so far. Still going through the first game, though. Yeah, I lean over Keyshawn George assists. I think even his PRs, I think, has some value. He probably back to 30 minutes tonight. Although, I don't know. This spread feels a little light to me. Philly is on the back-to-back on the road, so keep that in mind. That's probably worth a point or two. So that 4.5 feels light, but back-to-back on the road, I see why. VJ Edgecombe, rookie, his first back-to-back. He's played incredibly well, 42, 39, and 39 minutes. I don't think they'll be cautious with his minutes tonight. 19 and a half feels a little high, actually. But nothing official for me out of the rookie yet. Really inspired by the way he's looked. Definitely gnawing away at that rookie of the year consideration. I know Flags had like one big game, but VJ's looked really good in all three. This is an exciting game to watch tonight because of VJ Edgecombe. Otherwise, Philly, Washington, you think that one to be a snoozer. Nothing official in that game. Let's move on to the Charlotte, Miami injury report. Fontieco, I believe I'm saying that right, from last year. Game time decision. Hero's still out. Obviously, Terry Rozier's got what he's got going on. Terrence Mann questionable for tonight, backup point guard. Moving on into the game. I don't hate Bam for 2+3s. You see the volume, 5, 8, and 5. This one caught my eye this morning. Plus 141 at DK. I'm not mad at a Bam Adebayo 2+3s either. A little plus money value, maybe a half a unit on a plus 141. They've allowed a lot of threes to centers. Well, I guess you could say, let's see what the starting lineup is. Yeah, where's the 5, I guess, technically. But, I mean, it's a double big lineup. You're seeing this more and more and more. Matchup would be important. Yeah, if Miles is matched up on him instead of Ware, I would like this less. Lean over here. Obviously, Miles Bridges. Yo, Storch, appreciate you tapping in, brother. Obviously, Miles Bridges is going to have an easier time defending from 3 and probably less help. PRAs instead. 35.5 under in every game this season. I was looking at Norman Powell overs. Number is painted. Sarr cooked him. Embiid cooked him in 20 minutes. Claxton got 23. None of these 4 match the 4 that Bam is. Bam PRAs is an interesting one. Being on Miles Bridges pulls him away from the basket. He played it at 33.5. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a much different number. At 35.5, I personally lean under. Storage says McCollum's under. Yeah, 35.5, I think I'd lean under for Bam. I was more on Norman Powell's overs because Charlotte's horrendous at guarding the pick and roll. Storch, we went over the Washington game. I'm not mad at a McCollum under. What I'll tell you is he had 20 plus, maybe 30 plus 2 nights ago. He shot the ball 20 times, 4 for 11 from 3, 8 for 20 from the field. But in the 2 prior games, he was just trash. So I don't know what to expect from his volume. I will say if this if he wanted to get up a lot of shots, I don't think Philly's a bad matchup to do that. So that's what kind of kept me off. But if I had to bet a CJ, probably just bet the under because he is trash. I like LaMelo overs today. I do like LaMelo overs today. 24.5 it's moved a little bit. There were like minus 125s this morning. Looks like 25.5, minus 112 now. So the line has gone up a little bit. Miami, they got Bam, they got Ware, they got some of the same pieces. Hero's out. It's a much different team. What's the spread on this game? I need this to quit going to sleep. Miami's a 6.5 point favorite at home. It's probably fair without Hero. Money making run. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. Appreciate the retweet. Help me grow the brand, brother. I appreciate you very much. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the retweets, yo. Three and a half, 160 is way too juiced. Powell's threes, John. I like Powell's threes. I was looking at his points earlier. I lean over LaMelo Ball's points. I like the 25 plus at a decent price a lot better. That line has moved, but I don't see a game with less than 25 and 30 tonight. Yeah, see, that 25 would have been a lot better, but at minus 132, it's getting away from me. Lean over here. Leave it as a lean. That Miami defensive unit's not what they've been in years past, so keep that in mind. Lean over, especially on the perimeter. I think Davion Mitchell could be interesting today. Wow, 7.5 on the assist line. Yeah, that tells you the market thinks the same. I didn't look at the line yet. I thought we'd probably get like a 5.5. So that's on me for not knowing the market better. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Trying to Raw FanDuel? Appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, Wiggins unders feels right to me. Especially if he gets the rookie on him. Yeah, he's going to have a rookie on him. That's why that line's so inflated. That line feels high. What's up, Max? Appreciate you tapping in. I talked about LaMelo. You like the RAs? I kind of leaned over his points, to be honest with you. Man, it does not look good this year. I don't know. The thought process would have to be Miami's going to blitz on the assists. I don't necessarily think they're going to blitz. Give this a refresh. I don't necessarily think they're going to blitz him today. I think I like his points a little better than this one, Max. Points or threes. Give me a second while this refreshes. There we go. Here we go. That looks better. 8, 8, and 13 this season on the assists, 2, 10, and 13 on the boards. RA's line, 14.5. That looks a lot better. Oh my lord, that almost makes me want to take PRAs versus Philly. I'm not so worried about Embiid being back. 12, 13, 17, 13, 15. High conversion rate here. High conversion rate here. These have been, high, but not incredibly, not too high. Yeah, Max. I mean, even PRAs. Yeah, PRAs I could get behind. I could 100% get behind the PRAs for LaMelo. I'm on LaMelo everything, for being honest. I like LaMelo everything. PRAs might be the way to attack this. Let's go look. Also, I've got some Twitter notifications. Let's see if this is Underdog News. Underdog NBA. We don't care. Shout outs to all the likes and retweets trying to rob FanDuel, my man Money Making Ron, and my guy Night Fox. Appreciate y'all. Let's go see if there's NBA updates. Fonteco is now probable. Oh, fuck. Norman Powell's now questionable. Everybody get your favorite book open. Try not to be FanDuel because they're the fastest. Man, that BAM 21.5 is already kind of high. Shout outs Better527. Appreciate you, bro. I might be a little interested in a Jaquez Jr. line here if this line is still open. I think we get some value if Powell sits. Usually a late day move from healthy to questionable is a bad sign. It's not always, but I don't hate Wiggins too. Books are scared. There's no Jaquez lines. Bridges over 25.5 PRs. I'm not mad at it, but hold on. That Heat line's moving a lot too. What's that total going to? Total's not really moving. It's the spread moving towards Charlotte. Oh, wait. I think I just saw a big move. Hold on. Do. Man, I don't bet a lot of rookies, but I don't hate that, especially if Miami's going to be short on the defensive end now. Yeah, everyone's moving Wiggins to 16.5, which I get it. My concern with Jaquez or Wiggins over points is that the bulk of their scoring comes in the paint, where Charlotte is eighth best defensively. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think Wiggins will have to stretch the floor today without Powell. Have the ball in his hands a little more too. Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell is going to be down tonight. I think Mitchell will have the ball in his hands a little bit more. Davion Mitchell as a playmaker. FanDuel's locked up on it. Yeah, they'll be back open. They'll jump 16.5. They're still closed on the total. They don't know where to go. Well, the other thing that worried me about Norman Powell actually was Colin Sexton. I watched that last game of Charlotte's, and he was dogging McCollum. He was still getting shots up, but you want to talk about bringing defensive intensity all the time. I mean, that's Colin Sexton's MO. Played 33 minutes last game. Looks like he could get some more minutes because of the Brandon Miller injury, who is getting reevaluated. So interesting take there. I think the team don't quote me on this. I might have it backwards, but one of two things happened. The team said he needed surgery and he's getting it reevaluated because he doesn't think so, or vice versa. I could have that mixed up, but whatever it is, he's consultating with people outside of the team doctors. So that's, generally a sign that you don't trust your team doctors or your team's opinion. So yeah, no Brandon Miller there. Game stays more competitive. That's got to be good for LaMelo, right? This line did absolutely shift the market. I mean, there's some slower moving books, but going to let FanDuel reopen, and then I'm going to bet LaMelo's PRAs. I'm going to let the books reopen, and then I'm betting LaMelo's PRAs. 40 plus is really what I'm looking for. I'll take 40 and a half, though. All right, let's go see everything I missed. Where's threes? FanDuel's open 40 minus 106. Just open back up. Hold on. We're shopping this. I'm sprinkling this. Triple double plus 1750. Half a unit almost pays out 10. I mean, it's plus 1750. Storch, I like that. You can lock that in right now. I'm waiting for FanDuel's alts to open. It should be about that same number. I'm asking myself, how do I want to do this? I might go PRAs for a half and triple double for a half. I mean, I think it's a lot to risk on such a lotto, but definitely off market. Lonzo Ball, not Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, triple double. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. That Rivers price is coming down. I got Rivers at minus 125 too. I'm doing that's what I'm gonna do. 125 on the straight line. Okay. First play. LaMelo PRAs. Hold on, Storch. Hold on. Yes, Storch. Yes. Also hit the full game under. Yes, Storch. Yes. Hold on. I got to get this in myself. Trying to get as much on this under as I can. FanDuel did come back up to 239.5, so it might not be ridiculous. All right, I'm just going 1.25 on LaMelo's PRAs and then a quarter unit on the triple double. Thank you very much. Zion Williamson questionable for tomorrow. We got more injury news coming out here. Come on. All right, moving on. Yeah, really love that LaMelo spot. PRAs 40 plus, over 40.5 is still fine. And then sprinkle the triple double quarter unit. I really thought about even going heavier. It's a good value, but we'll stay where we're at there. Someone asked me about the rookies threes. Minutes have gone up every game. 2.5 is the line. 4, 6, and 9. He's shot fairly efficient to start. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. With Brandon Miller out, his minutes should be pretty strong. He's in the starting lineup. He's attempting 6 per game. Not a lot to go off of, but if you need threes, averaging 6, he's got to be at about 50%. More minutes, though. So if you think he's closer to that 8-9 range, I think that's where 3 really becomes valuable. 33%. Looks like he's more than capable of doing that. Lean over for the rookie, but not something I'm betting. All right, that's going to do it for this game. I'm going to move on. Just the one, well, I guess kind of 2 plays, the straight and the sprinkle. Moving on to Sacramento versus OKC. Feels like OKC's played a lot of games this season. They're in game number 5, coming off of a back-to-back. They opened the night 2 off, 2 off, 2 off. Now their first back-to-back. Shea with only 23 last night. Killed me on the assists, went over for the first game. Dallas did exactly what I hoped they wouldn't. No, I mean, not even, though. Shea became more passive because he couldn't make shit. I think he shot 10 for 24, 10 for 25 from the field. We expect Shea to be a more efficient shooter than that. Could not get it going down the stretch. They were lucky to break away with a win even. So he didn't play well last night. Probably shakes that off tonight versus Sacramento team, who I think is playing better than some people anticipated. The line on this one is a lot, though. The line's 10.5, and OKC's coming off of a back-to-back. So that's OKC is at home, though. That'll tell you what you need to know. Sabonis hasn't really looked good this year. I think Westbrook has looked good in his minutes. Chet was dealing with some kind of small injury. Doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. They could get J-Dub back tonight. They could get Caruso back tonight. They could get Joe back tonight. OKC is one of those teams that you almost got to wait till later in the day to see if there's any late scratches. Kyle Kuzma is good to go. Cole Anthony is probable. Karl Anthony Towns probable. All the new news. Yeah, on the OKC side of the ball, I mean, it's getting ugly out here. Back-to-back, rest spot for potentially for some people. Potentially some people coming back. Let me do a Jalen Williams search real quick. Doesn't look like he's going to be good to go from everything I'm seeing. It looks like he's getting closer, but not good to go. Stort's not mad at a double-double at plus 130. I'm not dumping a bunch of units into it, but I'm not mad. He could grab that with rebounds or assists in this one. So not mad at that at all. Is DeMar DeRozan going to be Chet's matchup? We're going to see some zone in this game. If they, yo, AB, appreciate you tapping in. We are so back. Oh, by the way, I got to get a play up on the banner. Two things I've bet so far: LaMelo over 40 plus PRAs, also sprinkled as triple double for a quarter unit. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I think Chet goes crazy tonight. I think this is a cupcake matchup for him. FanDuel 26.5 minus 125. Rivers 26.5 minus 124. I'm good with this one too. Let's go 1.24 units here. All right, good to go. That's our second play. Is there a reason not to hammer Monk's threes? Let's look into it. Malik Monk threes. Hardenstein going up against Sabonis tonight, the more difficult of the two matchups. Probably stay off of him, but I'm not mad at a PR over. Schroeder, the starting guard there. He's looked good in each of these games. Him and Westbrook both, honestly, have looked like decent pieces here. Not mad at a Dennis Schroeder points over. I assume Shea will start on him, but there's some good guards defensively that they can throw at them. I'm not exactly sure who the initial matchup will be. Could be Shea, could be Kaysen. I think Lou will start on Levine. Yeah, I think we'll see some zone out of this this OKC starting lineup tonight. I just think it makes sense. Let me also get this other play on the banner here. No, I got Chet on there. I'm not mad at Schroeder overs. I'm really not mad at Schroeder overs. 23, 28, 22% usage rate for the Sacramento team. I'm not mad at Dennis Schroeder overs. Not an official play for me, but definitely a lean. This DeMar line has came back down kind of into reality. I think this line was too high to start the season. We were seeing 21s, 22s. Granted, he did go over on opening night, but I even said on opening night, I'm waiting until we can see a line similar to this. You see, he's going to play big minutes, 37, 36, 39. Field goal attempts, 17, just 9, and then 22 last night, or is that 2 nights ago now, versus the Lakers. Everyone brings it versus the Lakers, but I think he's got the most intriguing matchup here. Like with OKC projected starting lineup right now, his matchup will be Chet. Lanky player, he's not a scrub in terms of perimeter defense. You're fine switching him onto a guy for one play. But I think he's got a very interesting matchup tonight going up against Chet. Well, I do think, as I've said, we'll see some zone out of OKC. But with him as the 4-man, I think that brings a lot of opportunity for him as well. I would not be surprised if he's the one doing the cutting to the middle. Maybe even assists could be a decent look for DeMar in this one. Dump offs around the paint would not surprise me at all. Let me go check something out. Also, got to remember the corner three players. Someone spoke on Malik Monk threes. He's more a high post 3-point shooter, though. I lean over DeMar DeRozan points and assists. I do lean over DeMar PAs. This one could be a good live bet as well. There's some really fairly priced 23.5s out there. 110, 110, 118, 125. Some books have bumped to 14.5, but 23 or 24.5. 23.5 does seem to be the painted number for the most part. We see if we've got underdog news. Shout outs, props.cash. Shout out Sosa. Appreciate y'all. NBA underdog. Cole Anthony, Kyle Kuzma, Karl Anthony Towns. We're still good on news. All right, I'm going to leave this as a lean for DeMar. Is Schroeder under PRAs good? Since this is the first defense that they're facing, good defense that they're facing. I think it's interesting for Schroeder. I do think OKC's in a decent rest spot. I know they've got some questionables. I would say he's got probably the worst matchup of the starters, points-wise. And I think that's reflective in the line being so low. PRAs over in each. Shitting on my Lakers, but their defense isn't good. And then garbage. So you're right. He's had a cupcake schedule so far. I don't have anything for you on Schroeder at the end of the day. Levine with Dort, I think, can be a difficult matchup. This line being at 21.5, I think, represents that. DeMar's got the easier matchup, but 30, 31, and 32 in the first two games. Threes are interesting. I think threes are probably – nah. I thought maybe we'd get a 2.5. What is the 2.5? Like minus 200? Minus 179. Yeah, that's not worth it. I think we still see Levine Chuck tonight. But OKC does obviously bring the most difficult individual matchup for him. What's the injury again? We've got Caruso questionable and Joe questionable. I like Wiggins overs, even AJ Mitchell overs. If one or both of those two stop, or one of those two sit, my apologies. Thunder are fourth best in assists allowed. Okay, for the DeMar look, yeah. The DeMar look is more dependent on what position Sacramento put him in this evening anyways. Points, I think, are matchup based, but if the points don't look good, that means there's help with Chet, and then I think DeMar makes the right play. Keon Ellis, threes in the corner, probably like a sneaky look. And then these role players for OKC, I mean, they can get it going any night. Just depends on who's playing. I'm not mad at any of their overs. I don't like the price there, and I don't like buying up to 3+. (22nd) in three-pointers attempted allowed this season, 13th in made. So not a great defensive team versus three. They actually allow a bunch of corner threes, which was reminiscent to last year. I think Keon Ellis slides into that catch and shoot in the corner role best. 1.5 plus 152. Minutes 13, 17, and 18. Threes attempted just 2, 2, and 4. Westbrook 10.5 points and rebounds. Versus his old team. I mean, he's played OKC so many times now. I'm sure there's still added motivation because the game is in OKC. So I could see the reason for liking Westbrook. He's going to bring it. 27 minutes last night, 18, 17, and then 27. 24 points. He always gets up versus the Lakers. Obviously, they did him dirty. 24, 6, and 6, coming off a huge game. As I said, I think he's looked incredible. I do kind of like this. All 3 games have been competitive for Sacramento this year. I like his points over by itself, to be honest with you, Storch. PRs, yeah, I'm definitely not mad at that. 10.5 minus 112. Why the big minutes bump last night, though? Well, that was the first game without Keegan? Keegan missed all 3 games after signing the 4-year, $100-some million deal. That's right. I don't think it's super long, though. Super long in length. Storch, I'm going to just keep this as a lean, bro. I don't know why his minutes exploded last night. Maybe matchup versus the Lakers. I don't know. He's got some revenge versus OKC, but I'm good on Westbrook. Nothing official there. Brunson going up. Nope. Knicks in Milwaukee. What did I say about Kuzma? Mike Jones, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. Appreciate the retweet. Circling back to Kuzma is available to play. If you'll pay attention in their last game, I think he only played like 17 minutes. He's back from that rolling his ankle. Karl-Anthony Towns, 19, 26, and 15, going up against Miles Turner. So a lot different. I mean, different than going up against them last year with Brook Lopez, but maybe not so much different. Milwaukee versus centers. Czar at 0, Turner at 3. That's dating back to last year. Not a lot of historical data for this season yet. Towns, 4, 6, and 8 on his 3-point attempts. 12, 16, and 14 on his field goal attempts. I guess Kuzma will start at the 4. Kevin Porter's still not back. Ryan Rollins might be a decent look. Take a look at Giannis's under PRAs. What program? This is props.cash. Use code PP25. Profit Props 25. Get 25% off your first month. Giannis PRA unders. Under in 6 straight versus New York every game last year. Over in 7 of his last 10, however. I agree it's a difficult matchup, but low-key, I thought Cleveland was a difficult matchup. These 2 cupcakes. Cleveland, I thought, would be a more difficult matchup. What were his rebounds like in that one? 14, 9, and 40. I mean, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. And I think Mitch Robinson's out for New York. Yeah, Mitch is out. Towns is still a game-time decision. I could absolutely not take Giannis unders yet. You gotta see at least if Karl-Anthony Towns is playing. And if not, just there's no way I could take the unders. No way I could take the unders. If Mitch Robinson and Cat were both playing, I'm under that every time. But as banged up as they are, no way. Can't take it yet. Yeah. We got to see who's there. Mitchell, I think, was still chucking in those 24. Towns upgraded to probable. Okay, good call, Max. Good call. With Towns in, I still lean under, but it's not as strong as if Mitch Robinson were there. Let me see, who do they have projected as the starting center? Ariel Huckporty, second-year player. Last year played 25 games, averaged 8 minutes per game. Admittedly, don't know enough about him to do anything there. Levine assists. Tough matchup with Lou Dort. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. So they're going to be starting a rookie. No disrespect. Yeah, Ryan Rollins about to get cooked. He's not a rookie. He just hasn't played. He's been in the league 3 years, hasn't really done shit. This is his first time getting some run. I like some Brunson overs in this one. 27.5 painted. $26.5. There's a lot of 26.5s out there. 120, 120, 121, 127, 125. Basically, FanDuel's the only 27. I think I'm going over 26.5 here for Brunson. Brunson over 26.5. 120 at MGM. You can get a DraftKings at a 121. I'll double check the Rivers alts. It's probably around the same, maybe a 127. Encountering issues. All right, not worried about you going to DraftKings or MGM. Save the penny. NBA player points. Knicks. Yeah, 26.5, 120. All right, really like that spot. Let's go see here. Shout outs, baby Philly, for the like and the retweet, brother. Help me grow the brand. I appreciate y'all. Let me get that on the banner and we'll move. There will be late ads, man. You got to wait for the NBA, man. If you want to bet on a role player, you got to wait till the injury news comes out. You can almost only bet on the stars early. Unless you got a really good feel on if a player's sitting or not. You can absolutely find some value there. Then you're just kind of rolling the dice. Knicks are allowing like the most points from above the break so far this season. Would be no shock out of me minus 124 if we saw Ryan Rollins put 2 in here tonight. Volume's been there. I mean, 555. What? I'm reading that backwards. Okay. So they are right. 7th most. It's okay. I was okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna leave this as a lean too, y'all. But I like a Ryan Rollins threes over. He's gonna get the 5-6 attempts. He's a good player. He's a good shooter. At least he'll get those in. I lean over, not enough, not at the price 124. OG with Towns available. If Towns is definitely good to go, could probably get behind a PR under for OG, assuming he's going to have the Giannis matchup. So he's going to be, tired, just using a lot of defensive effort. I know Deuce McBride's questionable, but if I'm the Knicks, I start OG at the 4, Cat at the 5, sit that rookie or second year player, start Deuce at the 2. You got Brunson, Deuce. Yeah, you could easily put Deuce on AJ Green. And then if they fill that 4 with Kuzma, I mean you can easily match that up. That's where I would go. Towns on Turner, OG on Giannis, Mikhail on Kyle, Deuce on AJ, Jalen on Rollins. That's the way I would do it. Not saying that's the way they will do it. Interesting. Let's go see who they've played. Cleveland. Donnie likes to get to the bucket. You said the Knicks, right? Or did you say Milwaukee? Yeah, you said the Knicks for Milwaukee. It's just, I understand that. It's been 3 games, and when I look at these 3 teams, there's no comparable, not even close to Giannis. Now, there's very few in the league, but if we saw them do something similar versus Zion, or who's even comparable besides Zion? Like AJ Brown's not, he's more versatile player, can shoot. Sabonis might be similar in a way. I hope you guys can see that. I'm not saying their picks are perfect, but similar. Yeah, I don't know if I can put too much into that. Like they've stopped Jared Allen. Evan Mobley, you know what? Mobley kinda. I kinda like the Cleveland comparison. I'm not mad at that. Now, what did Mobley do versus Cleveland? Went over his PRs. Mobley went for 23, 8, and 6 and went over his PRs. He went over his PRAs. You see what I'm saying, John? Probably going to stay off of that one. I think Mobley is one of the closer comparisons there, and he went over. So, yeah, I'm going to stay completely off of Giannis, brother. I'm going to stay completely off of Giannis. I don't know. I do not like to have overs on 2 players for the same team, but I'm not mad at a Mikal Bridges points over at all. I think it's a pretty decent individual matchup for him. I think he does knock down 2 threes if he scores 15 points. That hasn't always been the case. But in this game, I do lean over points and threes. Probably not getting to the points, but I do lean over that way a lot. Last game, Clippers versus Golden State. I believe Golden State's on a back-to-back, right? Memphis last night. Curry finished with 16 in that game. Everyone in the world seemed to be betting his over. Because he did drop like 50 on Memphis the previous time he had played them. But yeah, luckily we were not on that. Coming off of a back-to-back. What's the injury report look like? Nothing too important. Zubac got 34 minutes last game after just 27 and 24 in the first two. Brook Lopez versus old... Oh, no, that's versus Golden State. I'm sorry, Milwaukee was earlier. In a very small sample size, Golden State is allowing the third most assists per game. I lean over Harden's assists. I lean over Harden PAs. Line feels a little high for Curry, but I'd definitely be afraid to fade it. 24.5 feels closer to right. Like a 26 or I'd need to be at like 27 to go under. Oh, 24.5 is kind of painted. You got FanDuel juice to the over, DK at 117, ESPN 120. You've got Hard Rock and MGM at 05, and they just moved that. They just moved down, so I'm not sure what's happening there. And you have Caesars at 121. So basically painted. Fanatics and Rivers are your only 225s. You know, at 24.5, I'm closer, but I'd probably want to be at about 23.5, 110 to take it. I don't know how far that is from 24.05, not far. I do lean over Curry here. It is a back-to-back, though. He is coming off of a dud, however. Played only 29 minutes. 35 in his – this is their second back-to-back already this season, over in 7 of his last 10 back-to-backs. 24.5 is really the painted line. What's the spread in this one? Almost a pick 'em. Plus 1.5. They are at home as well. Storch, I'm not mad at a Harden double-double whatsoever. It might be not as well priced as the 10+, though, because the rebounds aren't as big of an option. Minus 05. You got a plus 112 at Parks, which I think is just a Canby book. I'm not mad at anything like that with a plus sign in front of it. It's about the same as playing the assist, though, so there's really no point. And that, I mean, theoretically, he could get 10 boards and 9 points or less, but I would assume the assist is just about as good as value. Yeah, I like the PAs there for Harden. I really do like the PAs there. Appreciate all the likes and the retweets today. NBA Watts, appreciate you tapping in, brother. Appreciate all of the support. I see you be doing your thing with the money lines and spreads and shit. So shout out to NBA Watts. He's a good follow. I definitely tap into his shit from time to time. Yeah, I'm not mad at Harden PA overs, but I'm not going to get there. Kuminga, definitely one thing that I'm looking into. So definitely looking into. 2 looks I thought of: Mikal Bridges over 3.5 boards, Miles Bridges over 6.5 boards. Facing first in pace, I like that. LaMelo, Chet, Harden, all to get a double-double. Man, I don't hate Chet with if DeMar starts as the 4. Now, they do bring him away from the basket quite often, so the offensives aren't such a gimme. And then defensively, DeMar will be pulling him away, but I just think there's some real We'll be on here tomorrow talking about how much zone the one unit played, the starting unit played for OKC. I think I could be wrong. So I'm not mad at the Chet double-double. That'd be my most cautious one. I think Harden gets there. I think LaMelo gets there. He gives you potential with the rebounds or the assists with the way he's played. And then circling back here, Bridges over his boards, both Bridges over their boards. I'm not mad at Miles. We could circle back at the end of stream and see how he lines up, what the rebound chance boost may be without Brandon Miller. Now, it's going to be different because obviously Mark Williams isn't there anymore, so last year's data is going to be a little less valuable, but that could be an interesting spot. Kuminga, I'm definitely looking at everything for Kuminga today. But low-key, I think I really want to run this Curry 24.5. I didn't realize it was painted 24.5. Harden will be the matchup, right? I mean, I'm not tripping over that at all. They got Harden or Bogdanovich starting as guards. I'd imagine Kawhi takes Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take this 24.5. I'm taking the 24.5. 05 is available at a couple different shops. Basically play it anywhere but FanDuel. Anywhere but FanDuel. I don't like that the card today is like all-star players. I don't like that. One, two, three, four, and they're all on stars. I don't like that. Hopefully we can get a little deeper into the slate here, although this is the last game. CP3, is it the retirement tour? I don't think we know that yet. Seems to be pretty engaged. 6 assists in just 11 minutes last game. He's obviously got some history with Golden State, played there for a little while. Nothing for me there. I like tacking Draymond threes when he's got a slower big, but Derek Jones isn't that big. Derek Jones Jr., whatever. He's over in 3 straight. I think Jones has a better job of getting out there in the perimeter and defending. JJ here, Aaron Gordon here. So he's already done it versus some fairly athletic fours. I'm not mad at anything Draymond over. Stewart said, I'll find you a non-starter. I appreciate it. I need it. For Draymond's minutes, 28, 34, 20, and 27. Probably between 27 and 30 is where he'll finish out the season as an average, maybe just slightly over that 30 mark. Kuminga. Clippers are near the bottom in the league in rebounds allowed. I will say that. Draymond's assists. 9, 8, 5, and 10. Clippers are allowing the 5th, 6th most assist per game. Holy shit. Look at that, though. Converted 9 of 9 and 10 of 11. They could have been very, very high quality. Storch, we did touch on Keyshawn early at the beginning of stream. I think Washington was the first game. I actually like this look a lot. I got nothing against that look. I like that look a lot. I like the Draymond potentials. He's averaging 10 potentials per game this season. You hope to convert on about 5, half. So I think this line's pretty efficient. They are 5th in assists allowed, so I would lean over here. Line seems to be fairly painted. I lean over there, John. I'm not mad at it. I'm not going to make it an official play on my card today, but I do lean over. I do lean over there 100%. Keep in mind, Golden State is coming off of the back-to-back. I don't know if that's affected him as much. It's one game this season. Hard to tell. Minutes were still there, though, so not that big of an issue. As a Kawhi hater, I think he's had some cupcake matchups and actually gets a pretty difficult matchup today. Good cat. $33.5 PRAs is just about painted in the market. Now, it's not sexy. You see, it's just about painted. Everyone but FanDuel. It's not sexy. But if he's got Jimmy Butler, he had 33 last year in a game he maxed up versus Jimmy. I'll probably stay off of this Kawhi PRA unders, but that's another lean for me. Kawhi under his PRAs. Cooked Jimmy last year. I don't know how many minutes Jimmy played in this game, but I can find out. 48 minutes. Got cooked. Now, I mean, Jimmy fucked around. He had 30 himself, so they both went off, but doesn't play well into my under narrative. Going to stay off of that one. Might be a very interesting matchup between those two head-to-head. I would absolutely lean under Kawhi's PRAs. And I think that's going to get us through the slate, man. 5-game slate. Took about an hour and 15 minutes. 420 tapped in live. Hopefully a couple more post. I do appreciate y'all to be tapping in with me daily, though. Trying to build with the ones that are tapping in daily. So I appreciate y'all. Let me give my shout-outs. Shout-outs to NBA Watch. I think this is the first time you've engaged. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. Baby Philly, I think this is the first time for you as well. We're up about 8 units on the season, so hopefully y'all tap in. We keep making some money together. Mike Jones, appreciate you. Props.cash, appreciate you. Sosa, Better 527, trying to rob FanDuel, money-making Ron. I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to recap everything real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. 4 plays today, all to win 1 unit, except for the ladder. I did ladder a quarter unit on triple-double for LaMelo Ball. So here's everything. LaMelo Ball over 40+, 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We were able to lock this in at minus 125. 0.25 units on the triple-double. We got that at plus 1750. I would play that down to like maybe plus 1400, but I wouldn't play the lowest I saw was plus 11. I think you're really eating into value there. 1.24 units, Chet over 26.5 points and rebounds, minus 124 at Bet Rivers. And Jalen Brunson, 1.2 units over 26.5 points. Steph Curry, 1.05 units over 24.5 points. Yes, 24.5, 25 plus, whichever you see there. best odds on your book. Make sure you shop around. All right. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We will be back tomorrow. Best of luck tonight. Until then, man, let's go.